Hey YouTube, Dark Richician of Team Sorcerers here, doing a deck profile for Nouvelles, finally. And we've got Dark Magic Couple in the background joining me for this one. So yeah, we were going to have a September 2007 Sunday game, but because it's very late, we'll have to postpone it till next week. So you're getting a deck profile finally with the newer Nouvelles cards, except the continuous spell, which is banned in Richician format, because I feel like it's a little bit unfair, because, well, I'm trying to remember what it does. Yeah, cool story, me. So I'm just bringing it up on Edo Pro. Obviously you guys can play it in normal games, but yeah, here it is. Nouvelles recipe book, Receipt de Nouvelles. While you control a Nouvelles monster card, all face-up monsters your opponent controls are changed to attack position. Each time a monster is tributed by a ritual monster's effect, your opponent pays 850 life points. Once per turn, if you special summon a ritual monster except during the damage step, you can target one of them. Add a recipe or Nouvelles card from your deck to your hand, accept a continuous spell, and increase that monster's level by 1. So, yeah, the first effects are just too floodgatey and annoying, and I can't do that to anyone. I just can't. But I am, of course, playing Angry Burger and Chef de Nouvelles, which you'll see shortly. So first of all, we have one of the original Hungry Burger. Yeah, 2 was being played for a while, but now we have Angry Burger. Well, that kind of has to be played. 2 copies to be exact. What's that?
One thing I've noticed that nobody really plays the original Hungry Burger anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it still kind of needs to be played, though, just because of the last effect of Angry Burger. So yeah, for those who don't know what it does, this card is always treated as Hungry Burger, so that means you can't play 3 of this and 3 of the original. It's just like the whole thing with Legendary Ocean, Umi, Harpies, Harpy Lady 1, 2 and 3, all over again. And you can ritual summon this card with a recipe card. Monsters your opponent controls that can attack must attack this card. You can only use each of the following effects of Angry Burger once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, add a Nouvelles monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. Then quick effect, this is why you need the original still. You contribute an attack position monster on either field, and if you do, special summon Hungry Burger with 2000 attack from your hand or deck. So yeah, I was a bit worried that you wouldn't need to play the original anymore, but you still need the original. Then 2 copies of Bale Grill de Nouvelles, 2 copies of Balamaneur de Nouvelles, 2 copies of Foy Glacier de Nouvelles, 2 copies of Poti, 2 copies of Confera, and 2 copies of Burla Base. So yeah, I'm playing 2 of everything, because I feel like 3 is a bit much, and I've seen other builds that play one of some of them, but I personally don't agree with that. But then again, I guess it's down to personal preference. And then we have 2 of the other new card, Chef de Nouvelles, aka Gordon Ramsay. So yeah, the pendulum effect is, during your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can add a non-pendulum Nouvelles monster from your deck to your hand. If a monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect once per turn, and its monster effect is, if this card on the field is tributed and added to the extra deck face up, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, just like Poissonnaire. You cannot activate the following effects of Chef de Nouvelles in the same chain. Once per turn, you can target an effect monster on the field, increase its level by up to 3. And then here's the other effect that didn't come up in our game. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can banish a recipe ritual spell from your hand, deck or graveyard and apply that card's activation effect that ritual summons a monster. I actually can't remember if I could have done that at any point in our game, but there we are. And then of course 2 copies of Poissonnaire. I mean, maybe this should still be a 3 of, but I just didn't have room to run 3 anymore. But speaking of 3s, we have 3 copies of Manju, staple for any ritual deck. And that's going to do it for monsters on with the spells.
That's a pretty standard monster lineup.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not much new with the spells, I think. I have 3 copies of the fish recipe, 3 copies of the meat recipe. I did see a build where only 1 of each was played, but again, I personally don't agree with that. I mean, I can understand, because it can be recycled, and Chef de Nouvelles plus the continuous trap can do it as well, but I don't know, I just don't feel like that's enough. I mean, again, I guess it's down to personal preference, but still, I'd rather have 3 than 3 copies of today's menu, 2 copies of Culinary Confrontation, and 3 copies of Nouvelles Restaurant at Table, then a Pot of Greed and Pot of Prosperity. And I only played 2 traps, which are the Chef's Special Recipe and Solemn Strike. Yeah, I don't play the continuous trap because I don't know. I don't feel like it's that helpful. I mean, I guess it can be, but I'm just not sure about it. So I have a slightly big extra deck, even though ritual decks don't really need such a big one, not usually anyway. 2 copies of Pâtisserie Couverture, 1 for each Culinary Confrontation. For Exceses, I've got Utopia Beyond, Constella Ptolemy N7, Photon Strike Bouncer, because I play quite a few level 6s, Utopia Package, Honor Arc, Castel, Digusto Emerald. That's it for my Exceses. For my links, I have the Nightmare Package, Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus, 2 copies of Dynamondo. I did have 3, but my other copy, which was gifted to me, is now in my Blackluster Soldier extra deck. Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy. I actually don't know why this is in here, because I don't think I have anything that searches it, so maybe I'll take it out and put something else in. And then I added this in just because I could, and that is Ashlan U1000. Just because it does something with rituals. I can't actually remember what it does. Oh, it came out in the same set actually. So it needs 2 monsters with different types and attributes. Don't know how easily I'll do that. If a ritual monster, this card points to attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage, you can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. You can reveal a ritual monster in your hand, add a ritual monster with a different type and attribute, and oh, that's it. If you ritual summon, except during the damage step, you can target a face-up card the opponent controls and return it to the hand. Yeah, this might be a bit awkward, because, well, there are technically different monster types among the rituals. They're all dark. So, yeah, I might need to adjust this extra deck, actually. I wish I thought about it beforehand, but oh well. I'm not a professional.
It's still a pretty good lineup.
What's
But
that?
Dynamondo, I think you could probably get away with only playing one in that deck. Because me personally, I play one of each in Blue Eyes Chaos Max and one in Black as a Soldier.
Yeah, I guess.
The thing is, though, with those decks, I play in both of them 2 copies of Out of Extravagance in each of the decks, and regardless of the fact, it doesn't really matter anyway because they're just going to get banished. So.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Extravagance, I mean, I explained this to Dragon Master before. I did think about Pot of Extravagance for this deck, but the problem is there's a risk I could banish both copies of Patis Cell. But yeah, I guess I do agree that one Dynamondo should be all that's needed, but you know, doesn't, yeah, I guess it's fine having a spare, but yeah, I don't know how easily I'm going to use Ashland, and I have nothing to search off the Dark Charmer Gloomy, although I could still use its first effect though, but I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it. It's great that this deck plus Utopia finally got profiled. We finally got to show games with them, so now I can go back to mixing things up a bit. And yeah, like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. Team Sorcerers is getting closer and closer to reaching 800 subs, so let's get there. Yeah, you might have guessed that a lot of these are being put on Team Sorcerers at the moment because my own personal channel is kind of preoccupied with the Dual Recreation series, the Epic Elite, and coming up will be a 6-part top 60 list that I've done, which will be for my top 60 most hated floodgates in the game. That will be coming very soon. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. See you later.